You want to hear content about the Philadelphia Eagles and the Philadelphia 76ers? That's straight to the point, no nonsense, no over-the-top shenanigans. Say what we got to say and keep it moving. Then you made the right choice coming to Nikki Steve's channel, so stay tuned. All right, Nikki Steve's back again. I got some more Eagles news to discuss. So last night at work, I found out that Kerryon Johnson, the former second-round pick in 2018, drafted by the Detroit Lions, was claimed by the Philadelphia Eagles off a waiver. Now that makes it 8. I repeat, 8 running backs now on the Philadelphia Eagles roster. And I wrote this down so I can make sure I keep track of all 8 of them. Okay, so here we go. So I looked on ESPN.com and I went through their roster. So here's the 8 running backs. No particular order. Got Kenneth Gainwell, who we drafted last week. Elijah Holyfield on the practice squad. Jordan Howard. Jason Hanley. Adrian Killens Jr. Boston Scott. Miles Sanders. And now number 8, as of last night, Kerryon Johnson. Now, a lot of people feel like Kerryon Johnson is a guy who can produce, and if used right, he certainly can. However, I'm going to give us a popular take on this signing. However, now with 8 running backs on the roster total, I feel like we have too many running backs. Now, hear me out. Now, obviously, we need depth at running back, guys that can produce on the field and guys that can work in the practice squad. I just wonder if 8 might be a few too many. As of now, on the main roster, you got Miles Sanders, Jordan Howard for this one season, Kenneth Gainwell. Now you're bringing in Kerryon Johnson. Now, as of now, it looks like Kerryon Johnson is going to be the number 3 guy, Kenneth Gainwell number 4 as of now. But we still got training camp and the preseason to go through. A lot can change. Now, having all those guys on there, some people are going to argue that, well, it gets more people involved and it helps the run game. It could spell a sign that the Eagles might not fully trust one guy. They might not fully trust a Miles Sanders or a Jordan Howard carry the load. And again, you're bringing in so many running backs. You're putting so much investment to the running back position. However, it doesn't seem like you're putting enough investment in the offensive line. Most of our offensive line consists of veterans or guys that barely played. You only got 1 pick in the line. That was Landon Dickerson, a center who, despite his potential upside, there is the concern of injuries. The concern about whether or not he can stay healthy. But that's what you've done to invest and dress the line when you still got a lot of other issues with the line. My concern is with this, they're bringing in all these running backs. They're bringing a guy like Kerryon Johnson that they feel might have the potential to outperform the guys in the practice squad. And maybe if Kenneth Gainwell doesn't pan out at first, you got Kerryon to help out while Kenneth Gainwell develops. And yes, that is a possibility. We can put all your eggs in the running back basket, for lack of a better term. But it doesn't seem like they're doing enough to address the O-line. But if you're not doing enough to address the O-line, that affects both the run and the passing game. You saw last year with our O-line being poor, how that affected our entire offense. The offensive line is basically the heart and soul of an offense. And what do you need to have an effective running game? What do you need? A good offensive line. Take a look at other teams. Like you see the Pittsburgh Steelers, when their running game was being one of the best in the league, with Le'Veon being the main guy, that was behind one of the best offensive lines. Now, here you are a few years later, the Pittsburgh Steelers don't have that strong an offensive line. And you've seen their running game take a bit of a dip without that strong offensive line. You saw the Cowboys during their years when they have one of the better running games through the DeMarco Murray years when he was in Dallas. One of the contributing factors was a good offensive line, them having one of the better offensive lines. And that goes even back here when Emmitt Smith was their star running back. They had a great offensive line there. And some people say if Barry Sanders had Emmitt Smith's offensive line, he would have broken every running back record. But the point in bringing this all is offensive line does play a contributing factor. It's a simple equation. A better offensive line produces a better run game. So if you wanted to produce a better run game, I felt they should have done more to address the offensive line. I had said in my draft recap that I thought they should have gone 2 guys on the D-line, 2 guys on the O-line. Get an extra guy on the O-line in case Landon Dickerson doesn't stay healthy or someone else gets injured. But I feel like them not addressing the offensive line could still be a problem on the offensive side as a whole. Bring in all the running backs, but the offensive line doesn't help. There's only so much they can do. That also translates over to the passing game. Now, why am I bringing this up with the Kerryon Johnson signing? Because if the offensive line doesn't help out as much or they're injury riddled, then it's going to affect the running game. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying guys like Miles Sanders, Jordan Howard, Kerryon Johnson, those guys can't produce, because they can produce. I do have faith that they can produce. But I also have concern that if you don't do enough to invest in the O-line, it's eventually going to affect their performance or they're going to be getting hit so many times that it'll eventually wear and tear on their body, and they're more likely to get injured. But even with Kerryon Johnson coming off injuries last season, there's the question as to whether or not can he work his way into the starting lineup and can he stay healthy? So there's still those concerns too. So while you're bringing in Kerryon Johnson, there's still concerns about whether or not the offensive line can hold up when you're bringing in all these running backs, but not addressing that. And you're also wondering if this guy can stay healthy, if he can produce up to his potential. Maybe that's what they're trying to do. They don't want Miles and Jordan carrying too much to try to reduce their chances of getting injured. So they're having 3 guys at back. They don't have to run the ball. One guy doesn't have to run the ball as much, and it reduces the risk of injury. Maybe that's what they're doing. Maybe that could work out. And again, with no offensive line, you got to wonder how long can that hold up for. But I know I don't want to ramble, and I'll leave it at that. So to everyone that watched, as always, thank you for watching. If you're new to the channel and you haven't subscribed, do so and hit the notification bell so you're notified when I upload a new vid. Also, drop a like to show your support for the channel. And feel free to comment, let me know what you think of the signing. And that's all I got to say. Nicky Steve signing off. Fly, Eagles, fly. And I'll see you guys next time. For more content like that about the Philadelphia Eagles, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you're notified when I upload a new vid.